Hey everyone. First, let me just say, congratulations, Erika. You seem to have made quite the impression on Louisa D'Amato, contributor to the Waterloo Region Record. Headline out of the Record: Louisa D'Amato. In a safe Liberal riding, an upstart candidate brings a surprise. Erika Traub of the People's Party of Canada is unlikely to win, but she makes you think. It's an opinion piece submitted by Louisa D'Amato. Bardish chagar reminds me of one of those tableside chefs who slices a vegetable by throwing it in the air and then whips the knife through it so many times so fast you barely saw what happened. That's how she, the Liberal incumbent in Waterloo riding, sliced and diced most of her opponent's arguments on Tuesday at an election debate. At one point, her Conservative opponent, Jerry Zhang, criticized the Liberal plan to plant 2 billion trees to fight climate change. These ideas may be appealing to high school students, he said, pointing out that Liberal leader Justin Trudeau had once taught drama in high school. Chagar's response had all the sternness of a middle school teacher who had just caught a sweaty adolescent cheating on a test. We in the Waterloo region are better than that, she said. I don't play at that level, and I never have, and I never will. She went on to call his remark a smear campaign, then challenged him and his party to produce a written platform. Chagar is fiercely loyal to the Liberal Party and to its leader. Her family immigrated to Canada in the 1970s from Punjab, a move that wouldn't have been possible without Pierre Trudeau's Liberal immigration policies. The Chagars were grateful. Bardish started volunteering for the party in her early teens. In 2015, when support for Justin Trudeau, Pierre's son, was high, Chagar won the Waterloo seat by 10,000 votes. Since then, she has smashed glass ceilings as if they were champagne flutes. She was the first Sikh woman to be named to cabinet. She was the first woman and the first visible minority to become government house leader. Small wonder that hers is the safest Liberal seat in the Waterloo region. Bow down, challengers. But there was one challenger who stood up to Chagar and the rest with one inconvenient truth after another. And that was Erika Traub, the People's Party of Canada candidate. At Tuesday's debate, the second in a series that is hosted this week by the Greater Kitchener-Waterloo Chamber of Commerce, Traub poked the sacred cows of the progressive parties. Healthcare is a broken system that needs to provide an option for private care so that people who don't mind paying can get out of the line and take the pressure off everyone else. A free market system would also bring prices down. This is obviously a woman speaking from the language of liberty, of individual freedom and personal responsibility. And she's absolutely correct in her assessment and her assertions. That means a two-tier system, which for many progressives is an idea rife with injustice. New Democratic Party candidate Laurie Campbell pointed out there's already a two-tier healthcare system from the point of view of Indigenous people. You're talking about one system for the rich and one system for the poor, countered Green Party candidate Kirsten Wright. Traub shot back. The rich, my dear, when they get a diagnosis, they make a beeline for the United States. They have something we don't, and that's mobility. Well said, Erika. Well said indeed. That was also Traub's argument against the plan by the NDP to raise taxes on the very rich. They'd just leave if that happened, she said. No one really had a counter-argument. What kind of argument could they offer? Everything as she is saying is absolutely 100% correct and factual information. Just because some people don't like uncomfortable truths, well, that doesn't deny that those are genuine truths. Those are actual realities. You can't just magically wish reality away, as much as some of those progressives like to do. Traub is skeptical that climate change is an emergency. I don't agree with her about that, nor did the other candidates. But when everyone talks about electric cars being a solution, she's ready with the uncomfortable questions that no one can answer. What is your plan at the end of life of these highly toxic car batteries, she asked. Where are you going to put your garbage? After she asked the question a second time later in the debate, Chagar retorted, recycle them. Traub then pointed out that recycling isn't always what we think it is. She reminded the room about what happens to garbage with nowhere to go. It gets driven across the country, then put on a ship and sent somewhere else, like the filthy mass of garbage that was sent back from the Philippines earlier this year. We need to be truthful and solve real issues, she said. And the truth is that we have produced electric cars without a clear plan for how to safely and sustainably manage that huge battery when the car's life is over. Traub is most unlikely to win this riding, but it's a shame she's not in public office of some kind. Her plain-spoken jabs at some of our public fantasies are a public service, even if they sting. Waterloo likes to have strong women in office and doesn't seem to mind which party they come from. Elizabeth Whitmer and Catherine Fife at provincial parliament chagger at the federal level. I hope the community also finds a way for Traub to keep talking. Anyways, I'll place a link to this excellent article in the description of this video below. And once again, well, I'll just point out Louisa D'Amato, thank you. And congrats to you for writing such a well-articulated opinion piece in the Record. And hopefully lots of people from that region will actually read that, because I agree with exactly what you were putting forth in your assessment, in your analysis of Erika Traub from the People's Party of Canada. And that's why I myself am a founding member, a supporter, and will ultimately be a voter for the People's Party of Canada. Because once again, folks, I know the kind of people, because I'm friends with a lot of them, who are not just candidates, but supporters of the PPC. And no, none of them are anything remotely like, or should I say very few, because none that I know of. There might be some exceptions, some outliers, but most of the people that I know who are standing in support of Maxime Bernier and the People's Party of Canada as a way to challenge the status quo, the ruling establishment, we're just mostly all just good, decent, upstanding Canadians who just, like I say, who just want to get out from under the big thumb of big government, who has done so much to destroy our economic and social prosperities for so long. We want some breathing room. We want some breathing space, folks. We want freedom to flourish. We want innovation. We want creativity. We want entrepreneurs. We want that kind of spark, that kind of excitement that Canadians really need at this time to stand solidly behind or rally or gather around. Something that sparks the ideas, the interests of each and every other Canadian, which is, like I say, to put this country on a path of truly respecting and adhering to the fundamental principles of individual liberty and personal responsibility. Let's put big government on the back burner. As a matter of fact, let's get it so far beyond us that it'll just eventually at some point in time become a foregone memory or some kind of nightmare that Canadians were wise enough to escape or to wake up from at some point in time. That's the kind of future, that's the kind of country that I want to see going forward. And the only party that has a genuine, viable option or chance in October to help make that a reality is the People's Party of Canada under the leadership of Maxime Bernier. Hashtag PPC 2019. Hashtag vote PPC. I'll be doing my part, and I'll be bringing a whole lot of my family members along with me. And hopefully the rest of you will do the same. And we can get real busy together after October, continuing to not just rebuild, but to expand upon what it is to be a free human being in Canada for this foreseeable future. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.